Alright, what's happening, guys? Kevin here, and today I'm going to talk about something that got me into knives, which is the Spydie flick, or the reverse flick, like so. I was pretty much a Gerber guy for a long time. Not that Gerber's bad, but I was only really aware of Gerber knives. You know, I'd buy $10 knives, $15 knives, and carry them for years. I wasn't aware of the complexity and vastness of the knife world. And one day I came across a video of a guy showing off his Spyderco knife. And when he went to open it, he opened it like that. And I immediately thought it was so cool. I mean, it looked kind of almost impossible because you couldn't really see the finger, and it kind of just looked like the knife magically popped open. Yeah, so I immediately thought I need to get a Spyderco knife. So I bought a Spyderco Tenacious, which is one of their models that's on the cheaper side. And I watched a video on how to do it, and I learned how to do it. And I fell in love because it feels good. Not only looks good, but it feels good. I can't really explain it. You're just going to have to do it yourself. So how I do it is I kind of pinch the knife in my palm like this, and I hold it down with my thumb. So it's not able to move anywhere. It's pinned down to my palm here. I got my pointer finger resting towards the top to, brace it. Then I take my middle finger, I stick it in that hole there, and I flick it up. And that's pretty much it. Some people hold their hands a little bit differently. It kind of just depends, what feels better for you. But that's how I do it. And yeah, it just looks cool. Now, you are able to do this on thumb stud knives. Sometimes, not all the time. But for example, this knife has thumb studs. Well, it has aftermarket thumb studs. But I'm able to do it because the detent is tuned in such a way that I can get enough pressure on that thumb stud and flick it out and have it swing open. I can do it on this Spydie Cogent, which has no thumb studs. But since it's a black coated blade, I can get enough friction between the blade and my finger that I can pop it open. This takes some practice. Other knives have openings that aren't necessarily the Spydie hole, but they are similar, such as this Kubi. It's got a more angular opening, and I stick my thumb in there and pop it open. Same concept. This CRKT Pilar, same thing. It's got a little oval-shaped hole. Stick my finger in, pop it open. So, yeah, you can see that a lot of knives you can reverse flick or Spydie flick. The easiest is probably the Spyderco's, just because the opening of the hole just fits the tip of your finger perfectly. And especially this model, the Paramilitary 2, it's got a larger hole than some of the other models. So your finger just fits nicely in there, and it's just second nature to me at this point. I don't even open this knife the regular way, the thumb way anymore. I automatically go to the reverse flick every time. Same with a couple of the other ones. This knife, for example, the CRKT Pilar 3, I believe, is a frame lock, which means it's not a liner lock, but the frame on this side acts as the liner lock. It's part of the frame here. So the problem with that is when I go to thumb flick it, I'm grabbing on the back side here and I'm putting pressure on that lock bar. And so it makes it real difficult for me to break that detent and get it open. It's possible if you hold it the right way. You have to kind of hold it to where you're not touching this lock bar at all. Then I can get it out with the thumb. But this knife I think is just made for the reverse flick. It's so much easier because you're not putting any pressure on that lock bar. You're grabbing on this side and you're flicking with that finger. So that's the gist of the reverse flick or the Spydie flick. Get yourselves a Spyderco knife and try it for yourselves. You will fall in love.